Kings and Queens? We back. This is your boy Job Pat, and we are here at the Still Sharpn Still Show, a place where black excellence meet black mediocrity. Season 3.
You know the vibes. Your boy Mr. Love is Love. Family, if you didn't do it already, please hit that subscribe button. You know whatever you take from us, we learn and we grow with it. And whatever we take from you, we learn and we grow with it as well.
Right.
Like, comment, and share, guys.
Make sure y'all rate, like, comment on Apple or streaming platforms as well. This episode today, we have Miss Queen Toussaint. We're going to go right into it.
Absolutely.
Amazing woman. Her name is Queen, and we're going to definitely talk all about that. So tell the people who you are.
Yes, so I'm Queen Toussaint. I am a designer from New York, from Queens, and I am currently working on my brand that I started last year by myself, doing everything by myself. But just trying to build my brand and my empire. I've been doing like a little bit of styling, creative direction, working on my winter collection. So I've been doing a little bit of everything within like the fashion industry, but I'm just here.
Right. You seem like you're in different lanes. You're in like creative direction, styling, designing.
Absolutely. Many hats.
Yeah, basically.
Many hats. And I gotta say more power to you, because at the same time, it's tough for a lot of people to want to start.
Right.
And you started, and you have developed different skills to be able to continue to prolong what you're looking to build.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
thank you.
more power.
Can I get one bow? Fabio Foreign. You know what I'm saying?
You know the vibe is for the culture.
And look, we from New York City, all three of us. Queens, Brooklyn in the building. And we're gonna talk dirty, because how were you able to, like, you know, how did New York City have an influence on just your journey and being a fashion designer? You also said that you went to FIT.
Yes,
right?
I did. I went to FIT. So going to FIT in the city, I had a lot of different types of like students. It was very diverse. Mm-hmm. So I got a lot of like style, even from just going to class. Like girls would come to class in heels and designer stuff. Like they'll come to class dressed up every day. Right. So I always loved that I was going to that school and surrounded by people that had the same interests as me. Because going to Queensborough before that, I didn't have that. So going to FIT was like, I'm surrounded by people who are doing the same thing I'm doing. And I was also in the city, and the city gives you a little bit of energy.
Right.
So yeah. So I enjoy going to FIT. I majored in fashion business management. So I learned the back side of like the business side of fashion. Outside of that, I learned designing. So going there taught me the business side. Being from New York, I love streetwear. I love like active wear, but I also like a little bit like vintage too.
Right.
Like I love me a Chanel suit.
Right.
The culture of New York definitely helps with fashion, even like down to the nails and the hair. Right. Like even just black culture too has a lot of influence on fashion, and there's a lot of upcoming black designers too that are dope out there as well. So I love seeing that. But yeah, it definitely shaped me a lot, especially with my designs.
And that's amazing. How, like, if you don't mind me asking, in your opinion, do you feel like your major really geared you to be able to help other people build their business as well, being that you developed the business side of the industry?
I think it did. At first I didn't think it did, because after I graduated, I was like, how come I can't find a job? Because with a degree, I'm thinking I'm automatically gonna get a job, but it did get me into the mindset of just being a business owner. And a lot of my friends are like, Queen, you're so like business oriented, you're so professional. And I think it kind of had to do with FIT. I probably didn't think about it at the moment, but it did. And I feel like I carry myself with like so much professionalism, even down to like emails, orders, contacting people. Like you have to have,
it's the process.
You gotta have a customer service as a business owner. So I try to carry myself with professionalism, and I think it did help me get on track of where I wanted to go. Because being like using, for example, Shopify for my website, no, my school didn't teach me that, but using Shopify and like even looking up like factories, like doing my research, that kind of helped me with school. So I think that it definitely played a role in like helping me be a business owner.
That's amazing. So with that being said, giving FIT credit for you to be able to understand the process of going through the business side of things, now talking about the not the back end, but the outside of the business side, when you was able to develop the fashion styles and being able to develop fabrics and styles and different things like that, how did those two correlate? How did the business side as well as the fashion knowledge, the style knowledge correlate and help you?
I think the design side, like the fashion side, I kind of learned that on my own outside of school. Honestly, I went in college being a dancer. So before this, I used to dance, y'all.
Okay, girl, talk about it. So if you really rock right now, you get crazy.
Many different.
I wouldn't really rock though. I was a classical dancer. I went to school for ballet.
Right, okay.
So I was like technically trained.
Okay.
I'm not like a TikTok dancer. Like when I say I dance, I'm serious.
That's the new generation.
Yes.
Acrobatic and things like that.
Yes.
Okay.
But being a dancer, I always needed clothes for shows. And I always didn't like paying for stuff. I was trying to figure out how to make stuff. Where is it coming from? What fabric? So I think from there, that's what got me into fashion.
Right.
And I wanted to learn about fabrics, where things are made, how much it's going to cost. So I started like looking up stuff. I was looking up, where factories that make stuff, how much are they charging? Should I do this outside the country? Should I do it here? So I was just really figuring things out on my own, to be honest, because the school was like the business part, but like the designing part, I kind of was just on Google freelancing, just figuring it out.
And in that moment, I can only imagine it propelled you and motivated you to want to learn to create your own clothes.
Yeah,
like
it did. It did.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm tired of buying stuff. I was like, why is this expensive?
Right.
I was like, I just want to learn how to make this myself. Yeah. And I'm very hands-on. Like, I'm very independent.
So let me ask you. So speaking of because you hit it right on the nail, hands-on. So doing your own research, you spoke about just ownership and doing things on your own and you being your own team for the most part. How has that been, just like being a Black female entrepreneur, and like what advice in terms of you would give to like somebody that's like you that want to get into the same industry but want to do things on their own, or tackle that for the most part?
Yeah, I would say definitely make sure it's something you want to do.
Right.
Like, don't do it because you see somebody else doing it and it looks cool and easy, because it is not easy at all, because I have to draw my designs on Illustrator. I learned that in FIT. That was hard.
Right.
Then I have to send that over to the factory. Then I have to get a pattern made. Sometimes I have to buy it. Sometimes they have to make it. They have to size the pattern from an extra small to an extra large. Then I have to figure out the fabric, the notions. I have to buy all of that. I have to do all my resourcing. I'm on my computer all day. Like doing stuff, I'm always on my computer. So I have to find that. Then I have to give them the pattern, the material. They have to make it. Now I got to get a model. Now I got to do a photo shoot. Now I need a photographer. Now, so it's like, it's a whole process from like beginning to end. So I would definitely say like, make sure it's something that you're actually passionate about, because if you're not, you're going to find yourself getting frustrated because you're doing it for the wrong reasons. So I would definitely say, make sure it's something you want to do. Be consistent. I'm sometimes not as consistent as I want to be, but people do get bored easily. So you want to keep them entertained. You want to keep them aware of what you're doing, even if it's just stories. You don't have to post every day, but if it's a story or something you're doing, just post that. And I would also say, just be you. Like, there's a lot of people that just like copy and imitate, but like make sure like you are original. And also make people aware of like your brand and yourself, because you want people buy into you. They don't really buy into your clothing, because everybody does clothing, but it's like people buy into like your personality, who you are, what you stand for, your values and your morals. So make people like you. Get people to get to know you for who you are and what you stand for, because I feel like they'll buy into your brand because of that.
And you spoke about, and that's really great. Like when you spoke about being yourself, I really want to just hound in on that, because I feel like being yourself and self-identity is very important. So being from New York and finding your own self-identity, how is that process in terms of just like who you are today and how you dress today and just your whole lane in the fashion industry and you starting everything?
I think that It definitely came from when I was little. Like, I've always been creative. I've always liked dance. I was very active. So I always, and in high school, I actually really didn't care too much about how I dressed. I think I was more into sneakers.
Okay.
I didn't care for like
so
the
what's
outfit.
your favorite J's? Talk about
The ones.
We for the culture.
The
still.
ones.
Wait, the ones. So hit a culture question, bro. Because you know how people be saying like, yo, the low ones, no, the mid ones is dirt type shit.
They gotta be high top.
But why? But honestly,
they gotta be.
They have to be.
They gotta be high top. The mids is dirt.
No.
Are they bad, bro?
It has to be high top.
Well, not all high top is OG, really.
Right.
But it just give you that OG feeling, that OG look when it's high top.
So speak about that, because you know, because like we think about like Jordan and his own influence on like the black culture and just the black culture, right?
Yes.
Like what stood out to you that's like a brand that was like hot, or like even like vintage stuff. So like Coogee, people throw out different things that's like now, type shit.
FUBU was good. I had a nice bad FUBU outfit.
Sweatsuit?
It was a denim jumper with a jacket.
Right.
It was fire. FUBU, I was really big on baby fat. I was really big on baby fat.
Wait, wasn't that Angela Simmons?
Yes, I was really big. No, Kamora Lee Simmons. I was really big on baby fat.
Right. Sorry for that.
It was baby fat, FUBU, and Juicy Couture, but I feel like that was more like high school.
You watch Sean John?
Yeah. Oh yeah! No.
I'm just like, where's Sean
No. You're right. No, you're right. Sean John definitely. He started that.
You wanna know what's funny?
I think he's the artist that started artists having brands. He started that.
Diddy, Jay-Z had Rockaway, and like you see all these black innovators and black entertainers, artists starting their own shit, B. So it's crazy when you see that, bro, because that's what we into, black ownership.
Absolutely.
Like black luxury things for the most part. Like me personally, I don't really own that much black luxury, but I know my boy over there. I'm proud of you.
I mean, listen. Probably 1 or 2 of my boy Virgil. Probably 1 or 2 of Virgil.
Okay, but see though, that's black owned.
Virgil, just 1 or 2. Nothing crazy. You're a little expensive for my taste, but I can support.
Yes.
We ask you how you be feeling like when it comes to black people, how we like support. We don't really stay in house when it comes to like rational purchasing and clothing for the most part. I'm asking you.
As far as that personally, because knowledge applied, wisdom is power, really and truly,
right?
And then when you can apply that wisdom and apply that knowledge, experience, you know what I'm saying, then you get more powerful. But I feel like a lot of people is just not knowledgeable on the who actually owns the brand. Mm-hmm. And they just want to buy it because they see other people have it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's really a thing.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? That's really a thing. But now if you have the knowledge of it and you could use the back history of where that brand came from, who owns it, how they developed it, what process they went through just to get where they're at. Right. You know what I'm saying? Then you probably really feel like, do I really want to be tied to this business with my money? Do I really want to support them? You know what I'm saying? Or do I want to go to what I'm really about, and that's my culture.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But we just got to look into that and not be prideful and follow what we see.
Not go on that for real. Like black culture is important, bro.
It's very important. Like just knowing yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Like we always talk about that all the time. Each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's about. Really and truly, because you was just highlighting so much, and you hit the nail on the hammer crazy when you was talking about just being yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you have to.
When it comes to fashion, like it gives like the individual the ability to develop their own unique style, their own unique to express their own to express themselves uniquely. How can you describe for that individual to be themselves? Because it can be really hard. Not to cut you off, just sorry about that. Just to like pick your brain a little bit more. Like, how were you able in your like process to be unique and stand out? Because it's tough to stand out.
It is.
You get what I'm saying?
Everybody's kind of doing the same thing or something similar. I think it goes back to what I was saying before, like people getting to know you personally first, because it's hard to stand out with your brand and clothes. Sometimes, no, you can stand out with your brand and clothes, but I think it starts with you and your character. And I think you have to, for me personally, I don't like to look at what everybody else is doing. at the time. Like if I'm in my creative space,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to know too much about what everybody else is doing.
Right.
Because I feel like if I look at that, I might be like, oh, I want to copy that, or it might kind of get me distracted on what I want to do.
Right.
And I also don't want people to be like, oh, she copied over that because that looks similar. It's like, no, I wasn't even looking. I didn't even know that person was doing that. But I don't like to compare myself to people. I think that's something we do a lot. I don't like to use social media too much either because I need a break. I think sometimes social media can like consume us, so I need like my space. I need my time. You need to take a break. Like you need to just like focus on like things that you want to do, things that you want to accomplish. Write down small goals. I do that a lot. I write down very small goals every day. It could be like a week, it could be a month thing, a year thing, but different type of goals that I want to get accomplished in my career. So everybody's goals are going to be different. Nobody's going to be the same. And I think if you follow through with goals, focus on you, give time to yourself, build your character up. Like I said, get people to get to know you for who you are. Because I feel like that will create your individuality.
That's amazing.
That's a still sharp, still bar, Brian. Bow.
Fabio Foreign. For the culture.
For the culture.
And it's like, that
But
just
yeah,
gave
I
me.
think so.
That,
I think so.
You gave me chills right there, and I can only imagine how my brother over here feeling.
Nah, I'm feeling good, bro, because identity is very important. You know, bro, we always talk about just being yourself, being transparent with yourself, and finding that confidence in yourself. And I was going to ask you, too, like, because...
Hold that thought.
Yeah, bro.
I'm going to pass it right back on to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you know how we rock back and forth. But I just wanted to dive in on what you were saying pretty much, Queen. And it was just amazing, immaculate how you articulated everything you said. And would you, because there's two things I really want to ask you really quick. Would you consider reinventing the wheel is not that important as far as seeing what other people is doing and just seeing how you could do that, but in your own way is not important? Or creative space is more important?
It would probably be the creative space. Because I be needing my space. So, but I do think it's more of the creative space. Because sometimes I think, for me personally, I find that I'm more creative when I'm like by myself. You know how some people like, I need to be in a group?
Right.
Like, no, I need to be like by myself. But I think it's more of like creative space for me because even when I'm like drawing, I draw things a million times and I have to keep redrawing and I have to revise. And I don't like to ask for too many opinions until like I really, really need one.
Right.
Makes sense.
So I like to do things like on my own time. I give myself time and space. I do a lot of praying, a lot of reading.
Right.
So I'm very into like my self-worth and like my value and my time before anybody else's.
Right.
Like I need to get my mind mentally right before I can even start drawing something.
Yeah, because I think it's a mindset thing for like anything that you do that you're passionate about or want to like accomplish, and you got to get in that mindset and that mentality of just tunnel vision. And sometimes getting in your own space is the best way to do it.
It is. It works for me. It might not work for everybody, but it works for me.
Yeah, beautiful.
Honestly, I feel like for the most part, you were speaking about just being yourself, and I know we was tallying on New York City, and you know, when you think about New York, right? You think about hip hop culture, right? Definitely. Rap, hip hop, 90s, 80s, 2000. You think about a lot of people that came from that time. So, who are some people that you was inspired by? Like from the culture type shit, like you got Dapper Dan out there.
Oh yeah, Gangsta. He was good. Yeah,
you know Uptown baby.
No, I really did like him, and it was unfortunate at the time that he got shut down. But then he ended up working with Gucci, you know, in the future. But I loved how he started that, like the jackets. He was making jackets for everybody.
It's a lot of people.
He was making jackets for everybody, and
he was doing, not to cut you off, Queen, forgive me. He was actually like designing and doing a lot of different styles for cars.
Right.
He was doing
cars, car interior.
On a global spectrum.
Yes.
Shout out,
before that was even a thing.
You know what I'm saying? So he was like very, like black people, we are very creative, period.
Yes, we are.
Talk about it. And,
very creative.
And he definitely had an impact and a pivotal role when it comes to fashion, right?
Yes, he
did. But you look at it's a lot of people, like, we're going to talk about this too, because I actually want to bring it up, but me and Brian, we speak about somebody named Cool Ka, like he's into like sneaker wear.
Shout out to
And
Cool Ka.
Cool Ka is like gangsta, another black entrepreneur that's really doing his thing out there. But when it comes to that whole each era, who were you inspired by? Because you know humans, we live on inspiration and desperation. So for the most part, who were you inspired by?
I think I look up to like a lot of artists. Because I'm a dancer, so I just look up to a lot of artists. But
give us one.
I do like. Well, she's older than this. Like she's not really from Dapper Dan. She's a little older. But I do love. No.
I love the history, girl.
It's older.
Right.
But no, I do like Motown.
Like. Okay.
Like when they were having like groups,
right.
I really did like the wigs. Like.
So do you feel like do you feel like the 70s is like that's your vibe?
Yes, it is because I was into the wigs, I was into the dresses, the glitter, like Tina Turner. Tina Turner's bad. Like when she came on that stage with the rock and roll jackets, she had the little fringe, she was rolling. Like I love stuff like that. So I think a lot of artists. Even like Diana Ross, like I like her, I like Tina Turner. So I'm very big on like the 70s. I am, yeah.
No, that's amazing. And I love the fact that you are very vivid. Like you very vivid, girl. Like you talking about it like you looked it up last night.
I did it.
Like, but I love it though. I love it because at the same time it resonates with you. You get what I'm saying? And it speaks a lot of value to you. And we just have to be able to see the things that can help us versus looking at the things that won't really help us.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, because there's a lot of previous and previous brands, black brands out there that was very influential and did a lot of things for the black community.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So in your opinion, I'm not too certain if you're aware of them.
Okay.
But in your opinion, what thoughts sparked to you about the brand Cross Colors? Cross Colors?
I actually don't know Cross Colors.
Cross Colors, but pretty much, I'm not too familiar with them myself, but pretty much they are a brand station in California, and it's a black-owned brand. They were here for like a while back. Forgive me for not having a specific date.
Right. Okay, they're older.
Yeah, they're very much older. But their mission was to highlight social equity issues in the black community. You know what I'm saying? As far as in the fashion world, how do you feel like highlighting social equity issues in the black community, as far as like putting it on, like if your styles, your design can help stop prejudice in the black community? Do you feel like that's important for people, in the black people especially in that industry to do? I think
I like it. I've never done it, but I've actually wanted to do it. So when I did New York Fashion Week, y'all already know that year was crazy, 2020. But I had already had my mind and designs made up. And it was a lot that happened that year. And I wanted to include that into my line, but I did not.
Right.
Even like down to the mask too. Like I was trying to incorporate things, but I was like, I had like my designs made up. But I do like it. I feel that it's giving freedom of speech.
Right.
It's giving expression. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it, but sometimes people, they do get blocked for it too. Like I've seen people have, certain things on their mask and like they get blocked for it.
Because it's a little too sensitive.
Yeah, it's a little too sensitive. It's a little too much. But I personally like it. I think it's freedom of speech, like I said. And I think I don't feel that more designers necessarily have to do it, but it's good to incorporate it. Once in a while to have a piece or two on it.
Right.
But I don't see a lot of like high-end brands do it, but it's more like local people, they do it more. But I think it's something that could be added.
Yeah, it needs to be an agenda because at the end of the day, if we're going to be spending our money on something, because at the end of the day, our money is tied to us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Well, to black people at that, once we spend our money on something, if it goes wrong, we get emotional about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So our money is tied to it. And we're going to be spending our money and supporting something. We want to at least tie it to something that's for a positive and constructive agenda that's really going to push the black movement. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And I'm not saying that you have to adjust your styles, but it's just something that we need to push.
No, I agree. I definitely agree.
We probably need to start a program for it where other small local businesses could come together where we could put it on a larger spectrum, so higher end brands can see it, and they could get more involved because it's fucking important.
It is. No, it is. I definitely agree.
Like, it's very important. Like, just still sharpen still. Simple as that. Like having a sword on there. A lot of people don't understand the ideology behind that, but it's just iron sharpen iron. We get better with each other.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying? So just having that. I'm not certain if it comes from the black culture, iron sharpen iron or still sharpen steel, but it's just a positive thing to want to support and back.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So something like this, still sharpen steel, just to back that. You feel what I'm saying? It's positive and constructive.
Yeah.
So we definitely need more positive and constructive black designs out there. You feel what I'm saying? That's highlighting the imbalance in the industry. Not even in this fashion industry, but just in the world.
Yeah, just in general. I agree. Yeah.
I definitely agree too, bro. Like, and you kind of was catching me chills because you know how I feel when it comes to just black people just getting like not getting treated how we supposed to get treated.
Not especially, but he's the reason why I'm just getting more on the pro black side.
You know what I'm saying?
He's really the reason.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what, still we bounce ideation, bouncing off each other, all three of us, and we come together and just being better than how we was 5 seconds ago.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I think more so like when it comes to just the black community and you being a black woman in the fashion lane, I know you probably like it's a lot of perspectives that bother you. You feel me? For the most part. So I know it's definitely like a challenge that's been like overcoming for you. But what kind of advice would you give? Because you speaking about let me ask you, like when it comes to just you being in the fashion industry and we all gotta go, right? And we all wanna make money and we gotta go. We wanna have freedom and mobility, right? How have you been monetizing the Queen Toussaint company and like what advice you would give to monetize or what steps you feel like you gotta consider to even monetize? Because at the end of the day, we wanna make sure that you getting your money's worth and it's all about worth and knowing that what you're doing is being appreciated because you get value. So some girl out there may be out there and don't know the same route and took the same steps that you can or that you did it already. Right. So what advice would you give more so?
For me, for my clothes, I'm gonna talk about the pricing. So I'm gonna get back to that, but I was gonna get on the pricing. So with my brand, it's more so geared for like videos, like artists, photo shoots. I would say like magazine too. Right. It's not like your everyday, I'm going to the store, throw this on real quick. It's not that. Right. And my stuff is manufactured here in New York. So with that being said alone, it's costing way more just for it being made here, made in factories. So when people are coming to me, they're like, oh, the price is high. It's like, it is, but at the same time, I'm like, there's people that's charging more than me and y'all be buying it. But I feel like I take a lot of time and effort and money into like getting my pieces made. Right. So I feel like sometimes people don't appreciate or understand that aspect alone. Cause it's like, cause it's like, I hear what y'all saying, but it's like, y'all don't know how much this costs just to get made. Y'all don't know that I had to customize like the Cardi B jacket. I made that on Illustrator. I had to do the squares, color them, take her photo, Photoshop it, take it out for the album. Like I did that myself. I had to go to a place to get it custom made, printed on mesh fabric. I'm like, this is not easy.
Yeah,
like
it's a process.
This takes time. So it's like this stuff takes time. It costs money. So it's like I position myself, my brand in a different way. So everybody's also not doing it the way I'm doing it. Right. So their prices are going to be completely different from how they're retailing it. But I feel like people, they don't really understand the process. And I think also fast fashion got people messed up because they think that everything is supposed to be like at a certain price. And it's like, it's not. Because fast fashion, it's either like wholesale or they're getting it from China and it's mass produced. But I'm like, I'm not doing it that way. My stuff is made to order. It's not a whole bunch of stuff being made at one time. But I think for people, it depends on what you're selling. It depends on who's your target market. That's first. You got to figure out who your target market is. You got to figure out where do they live at? What are they willing to pay? What kind of jobs do these people have? What's their age? Do they have kids? What's their lifestyle? So you have to take all of that into consideration with your business too, because I know I spent like a lot of money on different things. There's like certain things I probably didn't have to buy, I didn't have to do, but everything is always a learning experience for me. Even if it's a loss, it's still a learning experience. But I think learning your target market, like I said, knowing your audience, knowing what they like. A lot of times too, when you just put stuff out, see how people react to it. But some of the things that I make, people love it, but then when they see the price, they're like, oh, like I don't want to pay that. But it's like, I took the time to do this. Like, this is also not something that's an everyday jacket.
Yeah.
It's not. It's for really you going out doing a certain event or something like that. But
luxurious.
Yeah, it is. And I'm not even trying to be a luxury brand, but it's like,
not to cut you off,
this
at
is what
the
it
end of
is.
the day, you pay for what you get.
Right.
You know your
and I
worth,
gotta
bro.
make my money.
You pay for what you get, because what you're paying for is not cheap, and it's good quality. What they're paying for is good quality, and it's not gonna be
right.
cheap.
So it's like you have to know your target market, who you're trying to advertise for, because if you just making stuff just to make it and you have no target market, you don't know you don't know your brand identity. You have to know like who you're selling your items to. For example, I worked with an artist, and she used some of my pieces for her video shoot. I'm like, this is what my clothes are kind of for. Like, it's for shoots, it's for a video, it's for a performance. But I think it's like people have to understand that like this is not an easy process. It's not cheap, and you also just have to know as a designer, you have to know like your target market, because that's first thing I learned that in school. Like target market was like always something you like needed to know. You have to know your audience and who you're selling to.
Absolutely.
And also knowing the needs. Like sometimes you don't have to go into business because this is something you're passionate about. You can build something and make something just off of a need that somebody needs. You know, like you don't have to go into business because like I like clothes. You could be like, oh, this mom has a hard time feeding her daughter. How can I make food that's ready on the go? You know, like it's always like a need. So it's problem solving.
I was just trying to wait till you finish.
Son, she was going.
I'm just trying to wait till you finish, but that's really all it is.
It is.
Like it's beautiful because you can have a passion, or you could just be fixing problems. That's just really the essence of business.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And just to piggyback off camera, because you know we was talking gangster off camera, but it's like she felt like and not to throw your business out there, but she felt like things wasn't working out as much for her while she was styling. So she happened to transition over into coordinating. You know what I'm saying? And she felt like coordinating other people's business is very much helpful. So with that being said, do you feel like you're providing a huge solution for people?
That is.
It is.
You helping people.
Right.
Still
They
sharp
like
and still.
that.
Right.
They like that.
I like that.
They like that one. They like that.
Nah, I like that one. I like that one. Because honestly, bro, that's what it's about. Helping each other.
It is.
People. And and shout out to the PIT program too, because we got this thing coming out called, we have the PIT program. It's called People, Information, and Time. And we feel like those are the three important things in life. You spoke about your time you put into it, the process. And I feel like a lot of people, and now in this generation think things are microwavable and can happen overnight. Now you got to put the work in. Like people can see the Gucci bag, but you can't see what was in the Gucci bag, the hard work that you have to do to get that bag.
Right.
And I don't fuck with Gucci because they don't fuck with the black community.
They don't.
But for the process, right? Talk about more so like how's your journey been now?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so to piggyback off of what you were saying earlier, so I felt like I wasn't doing as well in sales with my clothes. So I started to get into fashion and not fashion, styling and creative direction. So I've been working with like my friends, like artists, photographers, and I've been getting like paid from that. So it's like I'm trying to not pigeonhole myself to just be a designer. Like I want to kind of be
diversify.
Yeah, I want to be diverse. I just don't want to do one thing, because to me it's kind of crazy when I see people who are like stylists and like I'm just a stylist. It's like
one identity.
It's like, okay, that's what I do. So it's like I want to do as many things as I can. I want to branch out because there's a lot of things that I can do. I even like was altering people's clothes one time. Like I was getting paid off for like alterations.
That's amazing.
So because I know how to sew. Now I'm not perfect, but I'm still learning. But I know how to sew, and that's a need. Like some people just need something to get stitched. You got a hole, you just need something to get fixed.
So me understand. Not to cut you off, please hold that thought. You know how to tailor?
A little bit.
So I bring some close to you, girl. You know what I'm saying?
I do a little bit. I can do a little something. It depends on what it is. I do a little bit of that.
All right.
But
I do a little bit of that.
Let me ask you, because like I said before, it's a lot of in the process, like tailoring, creative direction, styling, designers, all different frames, and you gave your time today for even coming.
Yes.
So we want to applaud you for even pulling up today. You know what I'm saying? Because this is time.
It is.
Time is precious. You can't get that back.
Yes.
You don't get one of this community unless you own the show.
Black and white.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you get the black and white. That's special.
Yeah.
That's special.
I got another one for you.
Thank you.
I got another one for everybody, though. Get that shirt. Yeah, that's us. Yeah.
Thank
For the
you.
Queen. Talk about it.
More power to you, Queen. Keep doing what you're doing.
I really wanted the black shirt, too.
We got you. We got you.
You know we got you. Let me ask you a question, Queen, and it's so crazy your name is Queen. I'm gonna keep saying it.
I know, it's crazy.
But I love hip hop, right? So you got like Queen B, Little Kim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you be around like a lot of artists and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all the time. Like you just showed me another upcoming artist as well that you've been around behind the scenes and stuff like that. So you've been listening to music and stuff like that. We got this thing called Still Sharpn, Still Let's Rap.
I don't know if she ready for it.
We got some shit for you called Still Sharpn, Still Let's Rap, and it's 5 bar. You got 5 words. So for the people out there, for the community, everybody know this segment, Still Sharpn, Still Let's Rap.
You know what time
I'm about
it
to play
is.
the beat, and she about to get games.
You know what time it is.
Hold on to that card. So the 5 words is
modern fabrics, unisex, denim, color.
wow.
Damn. This is gonna be hard.
Talk about it,
Let the beat
Queen.
drop. Let the beat drop.
All right. I don't even know where to start. All right.
Shout out to Jordan's on the beat.
First, I gotta get my fabrics. I gotta coordinate, tactics. Then I gotta get my colors down pat.
Right.
I gotta make sure they correlate into my denim when I'm fitting them.
Right.
A little bit of shit in them.
Give me 2 more.
I'm a little bit modern, little classy, with a little bit of sassy.
Talk, one more. She got 1 more.
All right. Let me wait till the beat come back. Let me wait.
It's our anniversary.
All right.
It's coming. Last one.
All right. Here we go. It changed up a lot. I wasn't ready for that. All right.
That's nice though.
All right. So the last word is unisex. But y'all, I ain't having sex.
Bow. That was it, yeah. Give us a love to Queen.
That was hard.
That was Sana.
No, that
Put
was
on
nice.
title,
I like
Apple,
that.
all
That
that.
put me on blast.
Yo, tell the people where to find you at.
You can find me on Instagram.
Oh.
Queen Toussaint, QueenToussant_.
Right. And before we get out of here, right? I'm gonna ask my last conclusion. Brian gonna do his thing, love his love. That's
I know
the
the
community. Ask, you speak to 18-year-old self, Queen, right? And you get to look at her, like,
Man.
what would you tell her? What would you tell her? What advice would you give her?
Man. 18-year-old Queen. That was high school.
Gangster.
I feel like it's so long ago. I would say, I want to say I wish.
Right.
I don't want to be like, oh, I should have did this. But I would definitely say, just shoot for what you want and go for what you want. Don't be afraid. 'Cause I feel like we're always afraid to just start the new step or start what we want to do. We always have doubts, worries. We make up excuses. But I think just starting is honestly the hardest part. Because once you start, there's really no finish. Once you start, you get in the groove of it, you're consistent. But I would say just start, just do it, don't wait. Because I hate to hear people say, oh, but I need this. Oh, but I don't have this. It's there's people that start on a camera with their phone in front of a mirror. Just start somewhere. It doesn't matter where you are. I think a lot of people think that they see other people and they're like, oh, they're at this position, but it's like they was in the basement. They was, they was doing stuff in their house, right? They started from somewhere. They didn't start at the top. They started from the bottom. Right. So it's like, I think a lot of people think that you have to start up here, and it's like, you don't have to start up there. Like, you have to start somewhere, and wherever that is, it doesn't matter as long as you just started. So I would say, start, just do it.
I agree. And just to give you some more love, girl.
Come on.
Once you start, that momentum just grows. Yeah. And the only way that momentum slows down is if you slow down. So
right.
I agree. And not to spin it and to tap more in with you, in your opinion, because just reading the survey, you was talking about bridging gaps. You get what I'm saying? Like, in your opinion, how do you see your black-owned business creating opportunities for other small black-owned stylists in the perspective of bridging racial gaps in the industry?
I think that even with my friends, they're always saying that I inspired them.
Right.
And it's not even just like my brand, but just like who I am and how I carry myself and how I carry my brand too. So I want to inspire people in that way of just like wanting to start a business. Because even my friends come up to me like, oh, can you like work on my website? Like, how do I do this? Like, a lot of people come to me about like business questions, and I'm not up there. Yeah, like I just started myself, but people come to me and they're asking me questions, and I'm just like, I did this, I found this here, but I love that I'm inspiring them. I love that they could come to me and ask me about like, oh, what should I wear? Should I wear this shirt with these pants? Like, I love how people come to me about like fashion advice and just like business advice as well. And also, I love to pay homage to like other female artists as well that paved the way too. Because that was inspired. That was my collection. It was inspired by Cardi B. So I had like a whole collection like based off of her. I love how she started from like the Bronx and she started from the bottom. Yeah, started from the bottom. So I appreciate her hustle. Like, New Yorkers, we be hustling. Like, if somebody's hustling, it's definitely New Yorkers.
And what's crazy? Like, I always extend my gratitude to like my team, and my co-founder, he's a hustler, like hustler mentality. And it's like, to have that driven, that confidence to just be tunnel vision is needed. Yes. So I know for you, that's like important for you to just have that mentality.
Yeah. And I think also just connecting and like working with people around you, like y'all. Like, I would never met you if it wasn't for my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about connecting and not necessarily trying to get to people who are higher up already, but just work with people that's around you in the area doing the same thing as you, on the same level as you, because y'all gonna grow up together. So it's like, you might as well get to know people, get to know your neighborhood, your community first before you even like start reaching out to other people. Not saying you can't do that, but I'm just saying, like, connect with people who are on the same platform as you, doing the same thing, just growing a community together. So
shout out to Nico for pushing that local support, man. I mean, always pushing that local support.
Yeah, man, that's what it's about. Local support, community, and like, bro, community, culture comes from community. The people are from the community. Like, we the ones that has the biggest voice, and it's so important to just get back to that, the community. Like, when it comes to the black community, fashion is huge in our culture.
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
Bro, I remember just growing up and just wearing certain things. I was influenced by a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, especially New York. Like, New York is just, you learn so much things from New York, bro. And it's just like, you leave New York, people smell that you from New York.
They hear your New York accent.
Yeah, like, no, like, yo, this guy's not from here. This guy's not from here. You know what I'm saying? But nah, just being a black woman and having that mindset, like, I love that you looked up to Cardi B, because, a lot of people start things from nothing, and still Sharpn still. Like, we want to utilize the people that's around us and create an ecosystem and a space for people to just expand on Black victory. Yeah. And you are Black victory. You started something. People are looking for you and they found you valuable. Me and Brian talk about that all the time. People asking you questions.
Yeah, I agree.
With that being said, love is love.
Love is love. We out of here, y'all. Still Sharpn still. Y'all follow Queen Toussaint, the Queen Toussaint Company, season 3.